What's your name?
Hi, my name is Miss Brophy.
What grade and class do you teach?
I teach 7th grade science this year.
What's your most interesting story you have experienced here at Emerson?
I think maybe a kind of a crazy day here at Emerson was years ago. There was like a weather emergency at the end of the day. So like right before it was time to go home, we heard the announcement and we all had to go like take cover. And then it took a really long time. At the end of the day, kids were waiting for parents to pick them up in the buses, and we didn't get to leave for a while.
How long was it?
Like, how long were we waiting?
Yeah.
Maybe like an hour after school. So people were a little disappointed they didn't get to go home, but safety first.
Okay, thank you.
What's your name?
Miss Gaggiano.
What grade and class do you teach?
I teach 6th grade science.
What's the most interesting story you have experienced here at Emerson?
Okay, so I guess the year I started was interesting because when my first year teaching at Emerson was the COVID year. So my first day teaching, I thought I'd walk into this classroom with all these students, and it was actually in my room by myself logging on to Zoom. So that was just a very interesting start to the year. I was here in the building every morning, and no students ever walked through the door for the first couple of months. Me and Ms. Pottinger would go back and forth between our classrooms to talk about what we were going to teach and what we were going to do next period. And it was just a very interesting way to start the year. And I also have to touch point, second place story is definitely when that cat was on the loose and we had to have a soft lockdown to make sure that nobody got injured from a roaming cow around Park Ridge.
What's your name?
Mr. McPherson.
What grade and class do you teach?
I teach 7th and 8th grade health class.
What's the most interesting story you have experienced here at Emerson?
There's been a few different interesting stories and stuff that's happened to me here at Emerson Middle School. I would say the most interesting is when we are in our Candor Health unit, which is our 8th grade sex ed unit, where a program comes in and teaches students about sex ed for 2 days. And just seeing some of the students' reactions and their facial expressions and just a few of their comments based off of the Candor Health unit is pretty interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's your name?
My name is Mr. Speilburg.
What grade and class do you teach?
I teach 7th grade math and social studies.
What's the most interesting thing that has happened here at Emerson, or what you experienced here?
Quite a number of years ago, I was teaching a science class, and we were doing a lab where we were distilling a flammable liquid, which meant we were turning it into gas and collecting it and turning it back into a liquid to test it. Well, one group, while they were distilling it, they had a crack in their hose that nobody knew about, so the gas was escaping and building up around their flame. They had to boil the liquid with the flame. So I was helping a group with another question. Out of the corner of my eye, I hear a whoosh and see a beach ball-sized fireball hit the ceiling. So I turn to look at that, and as I turn to look at that, I see another student take off like a bolt of lightning. I say, okay, whatever, we're going to deal with the flame first. So I go and I help the student. He was fine. Luckily, he was fine. It's a little burned arm here. And as I'm helping him, I hear a crash over in that corner. And a group of students had dropped their entire test tube rack with all their liquids and chemicals that they needed for this thing all over the floor. And as I take a step to go see what that's about, the kid that took off like a bolt of lightning comes back holding the fire extinguisher like a baby, because he saw the flame and really wanted to help. But so he was on it. He reacted quickly. And the moral of the story is always follow your safety precautions in the science lab.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, what's your name?
Mr. DeMano.
And what grade and class do you teach?
I teach 6th, 7th, and 8th grade physical education.
And what is your most interesting story here at Emerson?
Most interesting story, probably one of the coolest times, I'll say, is when we had the Jesse White tumblers in for an assembly. So at the beginning of the year, they brought tons of energy. Students loved it. It was a really cool atmosphere that day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.